As we all know, Tide is the single worst piece of content in this game. Full stop. If you disagree, if you honestly disagree, hit me up. I will have you on the channel and I will debate you over it. Tide is terrible, and at long last, I am going to finish it. This video should serve as a guide on how you can do monthly Tide check-ins to push to your max capability and get it done with as fast as possible. We're getting right into it. No time for an intro. I've got my list of steps. Huge shout out to R-Type who did this with me. R-Type helped me figure out all this stuff. We have a beautiful sheet over here that you can see. I'm going to break it all down for you. We've got 4 key rules, and with this, you can completely maximize your BP because all that Tide is a BP check. There are 3 stages, 115, 135, and 155, that are slightly different than a BP check. You still need to hit the BP check, but also there's kind of like a timing weird nuance to it. But in general, guys, holy crap, Tide is stupid, useless content. It is the bane of many of our existences, and I cannot wait for tomorrow when I will be able to be done. Why tomorrow? Well, I am on 157. I only get 3 daily attempts, so in this video we'll be 157, 158, 159, but as you see, we will have the BP it takes to get 160, and just for fun, I'll post a YouTube short tomorrow showing myself beating 160. Who knows, maybe I'll rant about Tide a little bit because it's so terrible. So let's get right into it, guys. You might see here, currently, my BP of my team is just over 5 million. That is not even close to the over 12 million I need for 157. Why is that? Well, that's because I unequipped all the good gear on my account, and that is step number 1. Unequip all your gear. This will allow you to properly figure out who are naturally the heroes in the game that have the highest BP. And it is not as on your roster, obviously. And it is not as simple as just unequipping and then looking. Here we can sort this by BP and say, oh, Cetrum's at 41k, so he's better than Arrogance at 35, and then Arrogance is better than Hex, so on and so on. That's not exactly how it works, right? This is ordering it by that. However, as you're going to see, and a perfect example right here is Ardia and Volca. You can see totally unequipped with no artifacts. Volca comes in at 33.6k, and that's an Awaken level 4 Volca, whereas my Awaken level 0 Ardia is coming in at 32.7. So you might think, all right, I should put better gear on Volca than Ardia. That's not exactly how it works, because we can see, I'll do a quick equip on Ardia. She is going to go up to 86.1, and then we'll unequip everything. We do a quick equip on Volca. She goes up to 83.8. So it just doesn't scale all the same. I don't know if it ended up being the same gear, but the point is when you do your best in slot possibilities, and all the best gear on my account is currently completely unequipped, right? It doesn't always directly translate that whoever has the highest with no gear and no artifacts will translate to the highest when you actually start equipping gear. So that brings us to step 2. All right, so step 1 was take all your gear off so you can start from a baseline. This is why I say you should do this, I'd say at most once a month. You know, at the beginning, you can do it like a mini version, a light version where you don't take everything off and just try to maximize gear a bit just to push. But once you hit those big walls where you can only push a couple stages once in a while, better just do it every month or 6 weeks or even 2 months if you want, 8 weeks, who cares? This is going to be my final push though. So basically, let's go class by class, and R-Type and I both think you should just go in order of the classes as they appear. Fighters are the most important class by far for Tide. More on that in a second. And then it just makes sense, just go down. Basically, the only DPS gear is going to your fighters, then your marksmen, then your mages. Mages tend to have less BP naturally than marksmen. A good example, you see unequipped. Obviously, things change slightly with equipment, but we've got pretty high ones here with Cetrum at 41. We've got Hex at 30. Hex is a little high because he's wearing his artifact. The real one, it's going to be like Cetrum, then Silas, then my A5 Calypso. Compare that to if we go to the mages here. It's significantly lower. Maybe not significantly, but you can kind of see the difference. And once we put the gear on, you will definitely see the difference. And that is a key thing, right? It changes with gear. Twin Fiend's looking a little higher as well because he's wearing his artifact. So what we do is, and I'm not going to do all this right now because I've already done it, but I will just demonstrate. You go down the list. Obviously, the candidates are going to be the ones that naturally have the highest BP. So we could just say from Arrogance to Helga. Why is there this big drop off? Well, Helga's my last fighter that is fully skilled up. Abomination isn't, but he has got the ult skilled up and he is a 3, right? So it's kind of these 12 candidates. What you should do, you go through, you quick equip, and then you take this number without an artifact, because the artifact is going to basically be you know, kind of a constant through everyone. So then you just go down the list. You're going to quick unequip Arrogance in case the best possible gear for Zealot 2 is currently on Arrogance now. And I do think this weapon will end up being that. So we quick unequip. So we're back to a clean slate. We get on the list. Now we've got Zealot 2. We quick equip. You can see we get a new number. And yes, it is reusing the same piece. So this is how you can have a proper baseline and just see who has the highest BP potential. Now, if we go back to our list, we would just denote that. And you can see for Zealot 2, we have 82.8k BP. Again, this is all without the artifacts, since the artifacts basically are a constant. The way the quick equipping is working now, it is prioritizing BP. So this is a cool thing to do. Just follow this pattern for every single class. You'll see we've already narrowed in on our 16 deployable units for Tide. More on that in a moment. However, when you originally do this and you go class by class, so you do your fighters, then your defenders, then your marksmen, then your mages, then your healers, you should do at least 5 for each class. Maybe you'll do up to like 8 for something like fighters, where you may end up using more. We'll talk about the distribution of these classes in just a moment. But yeah, you just repeat the process. So that's what we did for the fighters. You go down the list as far as you want to go. We'll show you Ardia real quick because she's got a lot of potential. Quick equip, she's all the way up at 86.1. Pretty good stuff. And then, yeah, you can just pick other classes. So now let's go to Constance here. You see she comes out as 67.2. You write that down on your list. You work your way down the tanks. A big reason why I tell you to do that is if we unequip now, you'll see, wow, Azor has all this potential. He's A4, he's 34.6. Let's quick equip it, 63.4. That feels pretty good for a tank. But what about Oram down here? He's only 27.5. Well, once you quick equip him, he actually gets a ton because he scales really well. So he's coming in at 65.5. He's kind of like a DPS kind of guy. He's not defense base. He actually ends up being a much better candidate. And as you might have caught, he does make our final team of our 3 tanks. So let's talk about the class distribution. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me head to the Tide screen. This is going to be part of step 3. Essentially, you need to determine your class distribution among your 16 available deployable spots. So what do I mean by the 16 spots? That's a good place to start. I hate this interaction. I hate the way Tide works, loading up this screen. It might be hard to see. It was hard for me when I originally counted, but you can use on the most important parts of Tide, the things where you're really going to be hitting a wall, you can use up to 16 units. So if we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Ardia is hiding here, 6, or that's not Ardia, that's Valeria, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you can bring those 16. You have 5 classes. So how do you spread it out? Well, you have one baseline you absolutely know. If we go to the Tide talents, let me click on it. We go to our original basic talents and you go to, where are they? These 3 here. Nope, not these 3, excuse me. Where is it? Yes, these 3. You have one that when you have 3 or more marksmen, great. It says when there are more than 3, that is not how it works. It's one of the many translation issues in this game. 3 or more, so at least 3 marksmen, at least 3 defenders, and then at least 3 mages, you get these big boosts, and they lead to a ton of BP. It's like the biggest BP boosts from all of the basic talents. So you need to make sure you're having at least 3 defenders, at least 3 marksmen, at least 3 mages. So that leads to your distribution. So let me pull my sheet up right now again so you can see. So we knew for sure we needed 3 defenders, 3 marksmen, 3 mages. We also are going to bring then after that our highest BP, and you need some healers. You need at least 2 healers, so that's who we're bringing. We're bringing Sadie and we're bringing Elowen, and then I've got these other spots. So if we do the math, this is 9 spots covered. Our 2 healers are 11. We have 5 more spots, and when you look at that, they're all fighters. For part of this is, there's only so many platform spots, only so many melee spots, but also the fighters scale really, really well. I was talking to you guys, right, how the marksmen scale a lot better when you put gear on them. Look at Setrum, Calypsoi, aka Calypso, and Silas. This is my A5 Calypso, so she scales very well. Compared to these mages, this is an A5 Boreas, and he's got what? Over almost like 5.9k, 6k less BP than Calypso. So you're probably going to be drawing from either fighters or marksmen. Very likely you're going to run out of platform spaces, so you will have to lean on marksmen. I think most people will do this class distribution: 5, then 3, then 3, then 3, then 2. Could be different though. Could be 4 fighters and then 4 marksmen. Depends on who you've got, depends on your skill ups, depends on your awakenings. The way it shook out for me, and I think it will for most people, is 5 fighters, 3 defenders, 3 marksmen, 3 mages, and 2 healers. So those are your 5 classes. There you go. We can finally leave this nerdy screen. Well, actually, there's one more thing I have to do. but I'll pull the game back up for 1 second, and you can see that is how you're going to determine your distribution and who are going to take up these 16 slots. All right, so now we got that settled. We're down to our final rule, rule number 4, our last time going to that screen. So bear with me, guys, and then we'll actually get into the fights. That part you guys can skip around, skip ahead. These are the key 4 tips that you guys need to know to really min-max Tide as much as possible so you can get this trash content completed as soon as you possibly can. So once we have our 16 units, you'll see from row 10 to row 25, those are 16 rows. You can order them, and then I suggest you sort. I already did it, but you can just do like a sort function in your table if you're using Google Sheets or Excel, or even if you're just writing it down, you can rewrite it following by the highest BP, and you find your highest BP without artifacts when you were doing the quick equip, then unequip, right? So for us, believe it or not, the marksman scale insanely high. So I've got my A4 Cetrum, my A5 Calypso, and only my A1 Silas. But look at that, very, very high BPs, and those are all without artifacts. And then you just keep going down the list. So it goes all the way from Cetrum to the guy we were talking about earlier, Aurum. These are my 16 guys. And then you go down that list, you quick equip them in that order. And after that, you simply pick their best in slot artifact. What is their best in slot artifact? Nearly full stop. It is the relevant class and the highest promotion, highest plus level on that relevant class specific artifact, right? So fighter, if you have a plus 25 realm tear, there you go. There are 2 exceptions, and I'm going to tell you them right now. The first one is actually for fighters. Wailing Skull just gets more BP. On average, it gets between 2,000 and 2,020 more BP points than an equally leveled fighter artifact. So if you got a max plus 25, and I will demonstrate this in one moment, like Realm Tear on Arrogance, you replace that with a Wailing Skull, it will go up on average about 2,000. I say on average because it is for some reason somewhat gear dependent how the BP scales. Who understands any of these silly formulas? That's what we have going on. And then what is the other interesting thing? Well, an exclusive does have a breakpoint with promotions, how much you level up your exclusive. If you get lucky enough to keep getting dupes of exclusive or use your mythic essences, artifact essences, you do reach a point where your exclusives get better than even a max promo artifact, right? So that breakpoint is when you bring it to its 3rd promotion. Once you bring your exclusive to a 3rd promotion, so you get a base copy and you put in 3 dupes or some mix of dupes and the mythic essences, after that point, it will be the best in slot. The only exception, again, is Wailing Skull. So there actually is a pattern here. I tested this out on the test server. Wailing Skull has the exact same BP contribution as a maxed out plus 25 exclusive. That is crazy. So if you had a maxed out plus 25, for example, on your Arrogance Eye of Mockery, that's his exclusive, totally maxed out, 5-star exclusive artifact, that would be the same identical BP contribution as a Wailing Skull. Wailing Skull is extra special. Those are your key rules with your key artifact caveat. We can officially leave this list, and I can gear right now, and we're going to head into Tide. This is probably going to be the boring part of the video. You can watch me do it if you really want to see exactly how it's employed, or you can just skip around at your leisure. That's up to you guys. If you appreciate this, if this does help you, give us a big thumbs up. And also, I'm going to put R-Type's information on the screen right now. He does have a YouTube channel. It's just getting started, so go check that out. His links will be in the description and the top pinned comment. Off to the races, guys. So I put my list on my other screen. Up first is going to be Cetrum, and it's as simple as this. Quick equip, and Cetrum, interestingly enough, is the only exclusive artifact on my entire account that I do have 3 promotion. We got a base copy from a shop event with there's an event with a redeem shop where we were able to buy this long time ago, and this has dropped 3 times for me. So I do have it at the break-even point, and I will show you. This does change once you have gear on, so you can only demonstrate once you're wearing gear, but you can see he's wearing gear now. This is him with a plus 19 promo 3 Oblivion pendant. I also did check this separately for multiple classes on the test server, don't worry. But if I take this maxed out Spirit Siphon, we will actually see the BP go down 721 points. It doesn't seem like much, but it is worth knowing because, hey, we don't want to leave any BP on the table. We want to min-max Tide. We want to get this over with. And here you go. That's my highest BP guy, 109K 605, 109,605 BP, and that is with his exclusive. Let's keep going down the list. Up now we've got Calypso. And you can see this is my A5 Calypso. We can go over here. We can quick equip, and I can actually demonstrate one more thing here. So she comes out to 86.102. I do have her promoted, her exclusive artifact, and I do have it promo 1, but you'll see it's not as good. So we equip this, we get plus 12.9k BP. Artifacts are very important. However, if I replace this with a maxed out Spirit Siphon, the Spirit Siphon still is 1,099 points better. The Calypso's artifact would only be better than this max Spirit Siphon if I get 2 more promotions into it. So 2 more copies or a mix of copies and mythic artifact essence. There's my Calypso, and you can see she's I think the only other hero I have on my account that's going to break 100k BP. She comes in at 100,147 BP. And then my third marksman will be Silas. It is this easy. You go quick equip. There you go. He's up to 86.2. Maybe he'll tickle it with Calypso. He might just break 100 actually. Let's see. He just does by 30 points. So he will be our last guy, 100,030. And there we're done with the marksman. On to the next one, we've got our fighters. So even though you see Arrogance and Zealot2 and stuff up here, Arrogance A4, Zealot2 A5. Up first actually will be Valkyra. You can see these guys are favorited, but she actually has the highest base BP even without equipment, and then she will have the highest once I equip her. So we'll throw a quick equip there. I can demonstrate one more time. I have a base promo version of her exclusive artifact. That will give us 11.4. Easily, this can be beaten with a Wailing Skull, which is going to be always the best. Let me actually demonstrate that even better. Let's throw a Frigid Flame so you can see how that's better than that, 1.6k. But then a Wailing Skull is just, for some reason, way better. It's going to go up by like 2,000. So you'll see right now, there you go, 2.3. So it really is dependent upon the gear. There you go. My Valkyria is not even max skill, but that is a pretty huge BP for me, for my account. 99.3. That is Valkyria. Next up, we're going to have Ardia. So again, we're going lower, and even her unequipped BP, as I said, is lower than Arrogance and Zealot2. That's why you want to be, thoughtful and pedantic with this so you can actually do it properly. We go here, we quick equip. Thank God for the quick equip. It makes it a lot easier. She's up to 81.6, and now I can throw an artifact on her, and she'll get my other maxed out Wailing Skull. So we'll equip that. And there you go, 13.8 additional, and she's up to 95.4. So Valkyria is the last one that's going to be super, super high. Now we've got Volca, my A4 Volca, who will be A5 tomorrow when I finally beat Tide. Let's do the quick equip. I guess I'll just demonstrate it again. I do have her Scarlet Ferment promo 2. This is a good demonstration, so you can see plus 12.22222. That is not going to compete. Doesn't matter what I throw on. Let's throw on a Frigid Flame. You can see that's another 83. It's very close to the break point, very close, but you need it promo 3. Promo 3 is the break point. So that second promotion got it really close. It's within striking distance. So if you don't have other maxed out things, then you can go for the promo 2. But if you have maxed out stuff like I do, you need the promo 3 to make the exclusive better, with the singular exception being Wailing Skull. And there is one other thing I did want to check. So here's a base promo Wailing Skull. Let's actually see what that looks like. So that does bring it down by 2,000, but obviously there's a Wailing Skull breakpoint as well. It does scale the same as the exclusive, so I predict it's also going to be promotion level 3. I'm trying to see if I've got enough Wailing Skulls lying around. I do. No, I don't. I could make it promo 1, it looks like. So no, we'll just stop right there, and she will get, it doesn't matter, we'll give her that Frigid Flame again. So there's Volca. Moving right along, we're nearly halfway done. Getting there, not halfway done yet. So now let's do our Zealot2. Here she comes. Let's quick equip right now. And you can see it's even putting on a Fracture set, believe it or not, because we're running out of a lot of our best gear, but we're still going to be A-okay. And then again, it doesn't matter. We're out of Wailing Skulls. I don't have her exclusive or anything, so we'll throw on a Scarlet Hunt. Brings her up another 12k, so she's still over 90k. We already did Volca, right? So up now is going to be Arrogance. Is this our last fighter? Yes, he will be our last fighter. So we'll do a quick equip. You can see now we're going Broken Set, but they know better than we do, right? And then you can see here's his Eye of Mockery. That is not going to cut it. We'll put on like a Realm Tear, aka Void Gazer. I feel like I get these names wrong all the time because sometimes I remember the old names, sometimes I remember the new names. But there is Arrogance. He's up to 91.6. Moving right along, now we're going to move on to our mages. So we've got Alistair. So Alistair's coming into the mix here. Alistair could use some skill ups. You know what? This would give us some more BP, and I do kind of need it because I am using my Alistair on GB2. No, I'll hold off unless we really need that last bit of BP. Thinking in real time here, guys. Quick equip. We'll throw on, he doesn't even have an exclusive. We'll give him a maxed out Tear of Twilight. Does synergize well, and you can see nice BP contribution, and we got him up to 85.5. It was supposed to be Boreas then Alistair, my mistake. So what I will do, I'm gonna do this the right way. We'll take this off. I don't need to take the artifact off because I have 2 tier Twilights. We'll throw this on, and yeah, it did go to Boreas, so that is better. So let's see, it should be a better contribution. Let's see it, 88.1, very good. Now we'll do Alistair, quick equip, and he's already wearing the thing, so he comes in at 88.7. Interesting. So that's the weird thing with these artifacts, right, guys? Alistair had less than Boreas with the original quick equip, but the artifacts do for some reason scale differently. So Alistair is ahead of Boreas. Very, very weird, very interesting. It is what it is. I'm not going to undo that again. It's close enough. We'll do Comet now, quick equip. Another Fracture set. Those seem to have decent BP. You can imagine because you're getting a nice crit damage contribution potentially. Now, yeah, I'm out of tier Twilight, so we'll go to this unfortunate skull here. That should still be better than his exclusive. I can test it though. So I do have his exclusive with no promotions. Yeah, it's close. It is close. So when you get to this stuff, it is worth checking. But no, the promo 3 unfortunate skull will be the better option. That is already it for the mages. So now we can go to Sadie and Elwyn. So Sadie is going to come first. Let's click on her. Quick equip. I definitely have some nice plus 25 options. So here's her exclusive, but that's not going to be a great choice. So we'll throw this guy on, a little golden scarab. Should be a big contribution, 11.6. You can see they're all scaling differently. 81 point the number, the beast. Pretty darn good for, honestly, really good for an A0 healer. She gets a ton of BP. Now we'll do Elwyn, and let's throw that maxed out Orb of Euphoria on her. Actually, this will be even better to help with healing, assuming Tide matters at all, which it doesn't. Now she's up to 84.7, so you can see it totally changes because before we put the artifact on, Sadie was at 80.1 and Elwyn is at 75.8. So the artifacts really do scale differently with every character for some reason, depending on how they're wearing the gear. I don't really get it. Tie enough though, it's good enough. We'll be fine. Now we've got our 3 tanks and we are out of here. So first up we have got Reeve. This is my A1 Reeve, my pride and joy. Let's quick equip him. Again, I do have his exclusive, but only base promo. We'll throw this on. There's my Reeve at 82.7. And now, I don't know why I exited the whole screen. Yikes. Now we're going to have Constance. Let's quick equip her. See, she's not max skilled either. Key things are up, though. The ultimate, namely. We'll throw on a Bastion. There we go. She's up to 75. And let's quickly do Aurum. And we are done. We are off to the races. Let's quick equip this as well. Lovely. 71 point, what did he come out to? 71.2 or so? 71.285. Beautiful. So now all you got to do, head into Tide and let's see, how did we do? How much BP total did we build? Haven't done it properly yet besides just adding it together, doing the arithmetic. A lot of these guys can stay, but some of them obviously do need to come out. So Ezrin from my old team, he's not going to cut it. Twin Fiend won't cut it. Lust, you're no longer in the mix. This all looks good. Comet, Cetrum, Artemis, you're out of here, buddy. Hex, you're donezo. Great. Okay, so now you'll see it is going to be ordered. I think we can order it by BP, or it already is. Should be. Yeah, you can see who's at the top here. So we'll put Volca, I guess. Interesting stuff here. We'll do the tanks first. Let's fill it out. Oh, I'm actually realizing I'm out of a spot, aren't I? Oh, no, my bad. Valeria's here hiding. I was like, oh no, did I mess up my melees? No, I didn't. There, we can take Valeria out. Now Volca can go. Brilliant. Actually, honestly, Volca's going to be naturally a little tankier than Valkyris. Just in case the fight actually matters, which I sincerely don't think it does, we will do that. And now we just got to get Alistair and Sadie in the mix. You can see we have 2 remaining deployables. We'll do Sadie here. Looks like she could heal a decent bit. Touch a lot of spots, and then we'll do Alistair over there. And we are up to 13.1 million. If I'm not mistaken, the highest stage on 160 is 12.8, so almost certainly we'll be good to go. Finally, before we head into battle, I did want to touch on this. If you're wondering where to do your advanced talents, so if you don't know, let me turn this off for 1 second. If you go to the Tide talent tree, when you reach your peak talents, the order to level them up, if you're just hunting for straight BP, it is as simple as this. This is where you're getting your BP, so it's 12.525 for all of the melee ones. These ones are excellent because they're helping both your fighters and your tanks and your defenders. Then go to your marksman ones, you get 5811. Then go to your mage ones, you get 4956. And then your healers, you get 3226. And you can see I've maxed out everything except for I'm missing 26 levels in my healer stuff. It is what it is, baby. We're going to get it done without it. And if ever you feel like you're hitting a wall, just be patient. That's why I'm saying check in once a month or something, because you are going to do your daily thing over here, your onslaughts, and you will get the points, the talent points, so you can improve your tied talents. You obviously, eventually, pretty early on, you'll max out all your basic talents, and then you'll head right over to the peak talents. And I really do suggest you just start here, and you go melee, then marksman, then mages, then healers. It's as simple as that, guys. It really is. We'll head in right now. I'll probably take my camera off. I'll probably put this on like 2 or 3x speed, but let's see. It should be as simple as just destroying them. No skill needed, no nothing. We already did the gearing. The min-maxing is done. Let's get in there like swimwear and call it a day. All right, guys, we got one remaining. I can come back. We can do it together. But you can see, I don't know if you were paying attention, on 157, for anyone that stuck through this video, let me know if you did. Let me know in the comments, and let me know if this does help, sincerely. And huge shout out to R-Type for helping so much with this, helping me put this sheet together. But I don't know if you noticed in 157, I was like so late to click the special buttons down here. The OLOG button is what I clicked first, and I was really late. It didn't matter at all. This does just come down to a BP check. There's a kind of little stun trick, silly thing you need to do, and maybe bring a little dot damage for 115, 135, and 155. But aside from that, it's just like, it's an inequality. Is your number greater than the suggested number? GG in the chat. That is literally it. So you see, we're flying through this. If you are keen to see the 160 clear, I'll try to get a funny short together for you guys tomorrow, once that becomes available. Since this is my last attempt of the day, you only get the 3 daily attempts. But yeah, I mean, look how easy this was. This was insane. This was even faster than the previous 2. Insanely easy once you get those BPs sorted, and that's the best way to do it. So use our strategy. If you have any questions at all, do let me know. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Not my typical kind of video, but people do ask me about Tide a lot. I do feel pretty comfortable calling this like the ultimate Tide min-max guide, because I don't think we skipped literally anything. Beautiful stuff, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, absolutely like it. Go check out R-Type. Only 18 subscribers. I would love to see that number shoot up. He helps me. He helps the community. He helps my website. He helps the channel so much. Amazing guy. Big ups to him. Big ups to all of you. Again, let me know if this does help. Get in the comments. Click the notification bell. Share with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.